Okay, so in this assignment, I'd like to learn, or I'd like to teach you a little bit about pivot tables. Pivot tables are a great tool for analyzing data in Excel when you have it listed in this type of format that usually comes off of some sort of database. Now I have some financial data, selected financial data from the S&P 500 that I've gotten from wrds. And I want to create a pivot table of this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and select all the data that I have, which is close to 3,000 records or 3,000 rows. And I'm going to go over to Insert, and I'm going to create a pivot table. And then I'm going to hit OK. And now I have a pivot table. Now the first question I have is, what is the aggregate sales for the last 6 years of the S&P 500? So I can do this by grabbing the sales, dragging it down to values, and it's going to sum up that value for me. I'm going to change that field setting to currency, and there we go. The format is $63 trillion or $64 trillion. Let's go ahead and copy this and name it as Ag Sales. And go back to sheet 4. This time, I want to know what was the most profitable year based on net income for the S&P 500 firm. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and get rid of sales, and I'm going to bring net income down, and I am going to grab fiscal year, and here I see that is listed for me the S&P 500 firms' net incomes in aggregate. Now, we see that just by looking at this, obviously 2018 had the highest value. Let's go ahead and create the format here. And what I want to do now is I want to sort this data so that the highest value is over here and the lowest value is over here. Now, I might be tempted to go to columns and do sort from largest to small, but all that did was sort by year, which I didn't want. I wanted to sort by value. So I'm going to come back up to here, and I'm going to go to More Options, and I'm going to sort here, descending by net income, and hit OK. And here I see that 2018 and 17 were the second most profitable years, followed by 2013, and trailed by 14, 16, and 15. Let's go ahead and copy that worksheet. And name that Ag Income, net income. Now, I would like to know which firm had the highest total assets in the final year. So I'm going to go ahead and grab and take out net income, and I am going to grab total assets. And then I want it by company, so I'm going to go ahead and grab company and put it down in the rows. And here what we see is each company's total assets from 2018 to 2013. Let's change that sort from 13 to 18. And what I want is I want to know which firm in the final year of 2018 had the largest assets. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and filter on just 2018. Then I want to sort my rows based on total asset value. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. I'm going to go to More Options. And then I'm going to sort by total assets. And we see that it's JP Morgan. Let's go ahead and copy that and save it as largest total assets. Go back to our original sheet. And now I might want to know which firms have the highest return on equity. Well, down in here I have return on equity, so I'm going to bring that down into my values. And I'm actually going to take total assets away. And it's also for the final year. Let's go ahead and format that as a percent. All right. And then let's go over here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to filter values. And we're going to pick the top 10. And we're going to do it based on return on equity. Hit OK. And we see that Boeing had the highest return on equity in 2018. Let's go ahead and copy that. And call that one return on equity. Now, last, maybe I want to graph some information such as return on assets. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out, and I'm going to put return on assets in here. Now, what type of graph do I want? I want a graph that shows return on assets by year on the x-axis. The y-axis will be return on assets. The x-axis will be years. And then we'll have some labels that will show the firms with the five firms that have the highest return on assets. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and take that out. And it's going to base it on the aggregate over here. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do my filter. I'm going to filter on filter for the 5. I'm going to hit OK. And here are the firms with the highest return on assets. One little thing here, maybe I don't want the grand total, maybe I want the average return on assets. So I can click here and I can summarize and I can do an average instead. So now this is an average return on assets. So now I want to create a chart. I need my years on my rows and my companies on my column. Now that I've done that, I can go ahead and go to build my pivot table and go to pivot chart, and I will come down here to line, and then I'll hit OK. And then let's go ahead and copy this and call that return on assets. Let's also go ahead and change the format of that to %. There we go.